a lot of stuff in here. I love the organizers in there, it's just too much. So let's consolidate that one too. Rearrange a little bit, hopefully consolidate and declutter a little bit. You can see there's a lot of stuff in there. This one will be super quick and easy. The fact that all of them are looking so good and so clean, it makes me really, really happy. So from the outside, everything is looking pretty okay, but once you open them, that's where the real mess is hidden. And the last time we did a project in here, we added this on here. So this is extra semi-permanent wallpaper from the laundry room project. I was so excited to use it in these cabinets, but it's not intended as a liner. So as you can see, it really has not held up. Let me show you over here. So it's essentially in half of the drawer, which is basically not doing a single thing. I did try and tape them down, but they just wouldn't stay after a little while. And then just while we're over here, a quick overview of some of the things we're working with. I know in these ones for sure, I really need to wash and reorganize all these containers. I use these stickers to stick them onto here so it would stay all nice, but it has not been working lately. So we're gonna try some new products just to refresh everything and really do it right, because you guys know I like to mix things up and change things. This worked for a little bit, but this paper definitely was not made for this, and it has not been holding up. So I'm very excited for everything to be super clean, a fresh slate. Let's get into it. And here's an overview of the space. That way you guys really know what we're working with today. A lot of cabinets and a lot of drawers. And this is what I bought to use instead. So this is a much more heavy duty style of liner. I ordered these from Amazon. It comes in a few different colors, but I just like everything to feel really clean and crisp. Plus, since it's a little bit of a heavier weight, I know the edges aren't going to lift up and it's just gonna last a lot longer. And now we are rocking and rolling and getting into this project. Starting with the silverware drawer. I always start here for some reason. It's the most commonly used drawer, so it's always the one I want to change the most. Getting rid of that wallpaper, unfortunately. I know some of you guys are going to tell me I should save it, but it is a little bit dirty to begin with, so I feel like I can't save it. Okay, so let's create a little system here. I really want to wash everything out super well because some of these desperately need it. These are all the Home Edit collection. Actually, almost everything is. Some of them are Home Goods and Marshalls and Target and whatnot, but these Home Edit ones, you guys know I always recommend, so I will link them if you are in need. They have a bunch of different sizes and styles, and they're just thicker, so the quality is really good. I'm going to rinse these out with hot soapy water and wipe them down before I put anything back in. Now I know that all of this cleaning, organizing, and decluttering can get overwhelming. I've said this before, but we were all raised with different norms in our home. We all just have different ways of doing things. And I know for a lot of you guys, this can be just a hard thing to do. Life in general can be hard, which is why I'm so proud to say that BetterHelp is sponsoring this video, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I really wanted to partner with them to help stop the stigma around mental health support and encourage more people to talk to a licensed therapist. And I will say one of the biggest things that I love about BetterHelp is the fact that if you're not comfortable talking on video chat or on the phone, that you can just chat with them. I know that from personal experience, and that honestly was the main reason that I started using BetterHelp. So I'm super comfortable recommending it to you guys because I've used it, I've loved it, and I just feel like it's so much more approachable for someone like me than in-person therapy. And their therapist will give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. They'll ask questions, answer questions. I really just think it's so nice to have an outside perspective, but a professional outside perspective on whatever's going on in your life. So if you think you could benefit from talking to a licensed therapist, just click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/alexandrabeuter and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. You'll also get 10% off your first month if you use my link, and truly cannot recommend it enough. I just feel like this is such an approachable service. And again, that's why I did it in the first place. I felt like it was so much more of a comfort thing for me to be able to do it online. So I know a lot of you guys are going to agree with that too. And here I was showing you guys up close that I even tried that museum wax to make this work. I was so desperate to be able to use that wallpaper because it just looks so cool. When you open the drawers and it's a blue and white pattern, like it's more of a purpley blue, but still I was obsessed with the vibes. And those white squares like you see in the bottom of these organizers and that museum wax, honestly nothing really stuck for longer than like a week or so. I expected them to last a lot longer, so that was another sign that the wallpaper just had to go. And honestly, a project like this is so perfect for spring cleaning, seasonal cleaning especially. I would say this is realistically like a once a year project because it is super tedious and time consuming, but girl, it's gotta get done. And I did my best with all of the stickers and the glue. I just wanted to scrub these from the crumbs and fingerprints and whatnot that were in there. And I did my best when it came to the glue. And all of you guys know I love things perfect. Like, you know, in a perfect world, things would be perfect, but it really isn't worth the time to spend like even more time scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing to get all of the museum wax and stuff off because it wasn't perfect, but I didn't want to waste the time. I wanted to get this project done, so sometimes you have to weigh the pros and cons, and here's our first roll that we're finally going to lay down in the drawer. And this is what was that? This is going to be our routine as we get through all of these drawers to open it up, wipe or pull everything out, wipe it down so it can air dry while we wash all of the organizers, let those air dry while I measure and put this in And I'm so excited that this has a little texture to it. So I know that's going to help those organizers stay in place a lot better than that wallpaper I was using. Scissors. In here. Over there. Okay, so I'm not going to measure. That would take forever. I'm going to put it in the full drawer, fold it so there's like a bend and a crease on it, and then cut. The first of many, so let's keep it going. This is actually so surprising to me. I don't want to put any more sticky things on these, so I just put them in empty and I'm testing them. I'm obviously shaking their drawer pretty significantly, and because of this liner, they aren't even moving at all. So probably should have used this in the first place, but at least now we know. So as far as this drawer goes, it's of course silverware, the kids' silverware, our straws, and then forest straws. I just like to separate it that way. There's a lot of straws in this house, so it's easier to have the kid ones and the adult ones separate. And then I've been lazy about separating the silverware sizes, so I'm trying to get back into the habit of doing that too. But that drawer is done. Let's move on to the stove area now. And I almost forgot to tell you to wipe down all of these drawers before I put the liner in. I'm just using those Clorox wipes. I figured I would use a multi-surface spray, but a lot of them do leave a residue, and I was not about that today. I just wanted it as clean as can be, so I opted for those wipes. And I will say this again, it was a very time-consuming project. I already told you that, but the main reason for that is I honestly don't think there are two drawers in this kitchen that are the same size. Like, they're all a little bit different. So I thought I could layer this liner and cut two at the same time. No, girl. We had to go one by one. And since I only have 2 rolls of that liner, I'm thinking it'll likely be enough, but I would just rather be safe than sorry. So I'm gonna start where I absolutely need it. So let's skip these drawers. This one is just napkins and paper plates. This one is a bunch of sunglasses and random stuff I need to go through, but I know I want it for the kid drawer. I know I want it for knives and Tupperware. So let's move over there next. Now we will be bopping around throughout the kitchen. I just kept switching it up, whatever was keeping my interest really. I started working on, and I will tell you, spoiler alert, I do something really fun with the coffee area that's very practical. It's a nice change, and it's been a few days and it's working out so good. So I can't wait to share that with you guys because I feel like it's a great, very practical idea, especially for anyone who likes syrups and whatnot with their coffees. But back to this drawer, we are onto the knife drawer. So some of the measuring cups and all of the knives and the can openers and whatnot go in this drawer, and it's a little bit of a Tetris game. It's those home edit organizers, some Amazon organizers, some home goods organizers, and I'm honestly shocked that they all fit in the drawer because they're all a little bit different, but it fills it perfectly, like literally there's not a centimeter left. So I'll show that to you once I'm done wiping all of these down with my microfiber towel. I really like to use a microfiber for a project like this because it absorbs water so fast and it doesn't just spread it around like a regular towel does. So let's wipe these down and I'll show you the layout. I mean, you love organization when this makes you happy because it makes me so happy seeing a fresh, clean slate, all of the clean organizers going back in. And this is where the Tetris game starts, you guys. Look at that. So we have the knife ones side by side, the 3 in the middle, the 2 on the left side, and then I kind of flip-flop them so they all fit, but it gives me as many organizers as can possibly fit in here and allows me to separate everything, and it works out so great. Here's a better view for you. You can see ice cream scoops and a mandolin and whatnot, and another drawer is done. So here's an overview, and then on to the next. And we are moving and grooving. I promise you guys, if you have a project like this you really need to do, but you just have no motivation, once you get a few minutes into it and there's actually real progress, it is a billion times more motivating. I was a little bit dreading starting this, but once I got to this point, I was like, all right, I'm happy. I get to wipe out this organizer for all of these bags. I get to refill it. This is so awesome. I feel like I've never seen anything like this aside from on Amazon. They have a bunch of options to choose from in terms of the slots and the sizes. And so it's, 4 different sizes of bags and then the foil and the plastic. And I love this thing. I use it honestly almost every day for school lunches and snacks and whatnot. So I think it's awesome. I've never seen an organizer for bags that's as practical as this one. I just want it easy peasy. I love the large openings so it doesn't have to be perfectly rolled in order for the bags to come out. They're just right there. I can grab and go and move on with my day. So next I want to start working on some lower drawers. I'm gonna work on the kid one, rearrange a little bit, hopefully consolidate and declutter a little bit. You can see there's a lot of stuff in there. This one will be super quick and easy, but these ones are a little more of a tedious project because they're like heavy duty items and things, you know, we really don't use on a super regular basis. It's more of a semi-regular, like a blender and a crock pot and whatnot, and more of that kind of stuff over here. So these ones, oh, I didn't even know I had those, which is exactly why we need to do this kind of thing. These ones, I just want them to be really clean and a lot better storage and organization. And one thing that I did pull out of the drawers up here is these. So any smaller accessories, like the blender obviously would never fit in these top drawers. So I want to make sure that this is with the blender wherever we decide to store it. I really don't want to separate things unnecessarily because then you can never find them. Well, can you guys tell our family loves cups and tumblers? And honestly, I feel like it isn't even me as much as it is Forrest and Jen. But anyways, I love a Lazy Susan for all of the little accessories and smaller parts for kids' cups. Totally recommend that. I've been doing it, I honestly think, since Forrest had his first bottles, and it just makes it so much easier to separate all of those pieces, but also to find them. So if you've never done that, definitely try it. That one is part of the Home Edit. Some of these other baskets are Home Goods and Amazon. Rinsing them, soapy water, all of you know the drill. Getting that wallpaper out, putting down a new liner, wiping down all of these, and then putting them back in. So lots of steps, but totally worth it for this next level organization. All right, y'all, so let's start putting these organizers in and choosing a new layout. And let me know in the comments, guys, are you the kind of family, if you have a family, are you guys the kind of people that separate all of the kids stuff, or do you keep it all together? I just find it interesting, but I like that Forrest has his own spot for his stuff. He knows where it is. It helps him be a little more independent than having all of these things super up high where he can't reach. And also, if your kids have those name stickers for their stuff, I keep them in this drawer. I always have, so I know where they are. If you get something new and I need to add a little sticker onto it, just makes life so much easier. And I said this in a recent video, but honestly, I can't believe how much this phrase has helped me stay on track with taking care of our home. And if I'm tired at night, but I need to get stuff done, whether it's a little laundry or the dishes or whatnot, see how sad I was there to throw that away? I tell myself that I deserve a clean home, or I deserve to have my laundry done. I deserve for the floors to be clean, whatever it is. Of course, I would love for someone else to do it, but girl, we all know I've got to do it. So I just tell myself I deserve this, I can do it. And that small phrase has done so much for me. So I hope it helps some of you guys too. The kid drawer is done. We're going to move on to the Tupperware drawer. And I do a walkthrough at the end to show you guys everything in detail and talk about it. So in some of these drawers, I'm just going to whip through them. I'm going to skip some of them. And then I'm going to give you a whole big tour at the end. So these bottom organizers for the Tupperware, all of these were from the dollar store. Sometimes they have great organizers. It's just you've got to be there at the right time and get lucky. And for these Tupperware ones, it's not like super organized. It's not like the kids drawer. It's more so just to lightly separate everything, like different styles and whatnot, but I don't go all crazy. I've seen those organizers where you have like a literal slot for each lid, and to me that just takes so long when you're emptying the dishwasher and answering a random question from your kid and a podcast is on and there's like a bunch of things going on. You just want to put stuff away and make it easy. So that's how I like to organize. I love those aesthetic slots, but I just need a drop and go station for this kind of thing. So the drawer's wiped down, the liner's in, I'm drying off these organizers, and then I can plop down all those Tupperwares as separated as possible. See how nice this is to have those sectioned out. It's not a huge thing, but it really does make a difference in terms of just regular maintenance on this drawer. So a little life update. I did order 2 more rolls of the liner because I feel like I'm getting a little bit low, but highly recommend. And one thing I wish I would have realized is with this kind of liner, I can wash it. So like every 6 months, every year, whenever I get to this project to redo it, I can just use the same thing. Like, isn't that so much easier? I need to design like a fun liner that's this material one day. But anyways, we're gonna move on to some upper cabinets that don't actually need the liner while I'm waiting for those other rolls. These ones, I love these so much. They need a little wipe down and TLC, all of these spices in here. And then also the medicine cabinet is ridiculous. There is a lot of stuff in here. I love the organizers in there. It's just too much. So let's consolidate that one too. It's hard to see, I'm sure, but there's a bunch of oil on this, which is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. Now the whole point of this cabinet is to make my life easier and make items more accessible while I'm cooking dinner. So all of the olive oils and just oils, avocado oils, are going to go in here. There were other items, but I'm gonna add those into the pantry because as you guys saw in that first clip, it was really tight, really cluttered, and there wasn't enough room to even look through it in the first place. So we have our liner down, and then the very top is this, just extra like spice holders and funnels and whatnot. Obviously that one's very hard to reach. I'm standing on a chair and then the counter to get to it. So I don't put items there I need almost ever. This is all of those smaller, I want to call it like a countertop appliance, but they're not even that. They're like the mini appliances. So the egg cooker, I love that for hard-boiled eggs. And then we have one that's like a small panini press too. I kind of forgot about that, honestly. Minutes in, we have made some real progress now, but girl, we've got a lot more to do. And this is what I'm saying of, I was like, all right, girl, I don't know if I want to keep doing this at this point. It's been a lot of work, but I think about everything we have accomplished and I'm like, okay, let's get it all done. I want it all the same. So if you need this for motivation, this is your sign. Get up, start working with me. First and foremost, this is way too much stuff. So I need to consolidate a little bit. I definitely should check expiration dates. I know there's some stuff that's been up there for a long time. I'm going to start by wiping down all of the shelves, go through everything. Also, I noticed a spill over here. So another reason why you really want stuff on an organizer or a liner just whenever possible, because you do not want that on your cabinet. Look at that expiration date, 2023. Now, I'm not super like stingy when it comes to expiration dates. I don't even know if that's the word. If it said 2024, I would probably keep it. But a lot of things said 2022, 2023. So after those 2 years have passed, I know I probably should get rid of them because realistically, I'm not going to be doing this again for quite a while. Most of what I'm getting rid of here is the kid stuff, like older medicines, cough medicines from when Forrest was a baby. They seriously were so expired. And then a lot of excess packaging. So whenever I do the pantry videos with you guys and reorganize stuff, I always talk about excess packaging and just how much space it wastes within your space. It will look so much better. You will fit more stuff. It won't look as full and cramped if you just get rid of those outside boxes and excess packaging. So keep that in mind the next time you organize literally anything. Wow, I actually cannot believe how much was expired, honestly. So many kid things. So this is what we are left with. It's probably around 60%. I want to say it's like a little over half of what we initially had. So let's put it all up here. It's gonna look so much better. So I didn't have a ton to do in this one. I just wanted to rearrange a little bit, put the kid plates, paper plates on the bottom, the bowls I use the most often on the next one, the ones I use a little bit less up top. This one I also skipped a liner because it has a fabric one that's supposed to hang on the inside of a door, but it's just so heavy with all of these lids. I honestly don't know how any regular cabinet door could hold on to that weight. So that's enough aside from a liner, just tucking them in the pockets, laying out all of these little, whatever you call these, like woodeny things. Those are rest things for hot pans that we never use, laying those out and then moving on to the next one. So that is another thing that will help to keep you motivated. Some drawers, cabinets take a long time and others you can just breeze right through. This I just wanted to reorganize a little bit. It's a riser. If you guys have a lot of skillets, oh my gosh, these risers are everything. They're so simple and it's just the best way to utilize all of the vertical space because I don't like them stacked, those smaller ones. I like that up and down. We've got some problem solving to do over here. This I normally keep in the cabinet above the fridge, but I'm just kind of tired of that. And then these, I'm so tired of having these out. I put them away and then Chad pulls it out. So I'm wondering if I could consolidate stuff enough to where this could be like a coffee spot so I could put all of this stuff down here and that way it's just a little bit easier. It's just one of those small things. I feel like if I keep it here or even there, then maybe Chad won't be pulling it out and leaving it on the counter so much. So I'm gonna figure something out with that too. So we have moved on to the glasses, water glasses, wine glasses, hosting items, and watching this, honestly, I feel like I need to change something. I think I'm going to put some of the wine glasses, champagne flutes, all of that in the cabinets in the dining area because we really don't ever need those at home very often. And I just bought some more wine glasses because we're having some friends over this weekend and I just felt like I needed some extra. I only had 3 of the stemmed ones. I have a lot of those really tiny ones from our wedding, but I don't know. I feel like the stemless is kind of out at the moment. So you know, sometimes I watch these back and I'm like, oh, I wish I would do that a little bit differently. But now I know I can put those somewhere else because they're not a regular use item. And I'll have even more room for those water glasses to space them out a little bit because I don't want it looking super tight and cramped. But that's kind of how it goes with these water bottles. I told you, I promise you guys, you know, I like my Stanley cups and my fun tumblers, but man, he likes to hold on to every tumbler he has ever laid eyes on. So I just try and put the ones we use the most often on the bottom and then store the other ones on top. And every once in a while, I'm like, please, can we get rid of this one? Haven't used it in a year, 6 months, whatever. So, you know, I have a bunch of stuff all throughout the house. I'm going to let him have his things. But this is where we're going to do the coffee station. And it takes some trial and error to find how these full-size syrups are going to fit. But it is so worth it in the end. I cannot wait to show you how it turns out. right, so the goal was to get those syrups and those small items off the counter, and we've got the perfect spot at the bottom of this cabinet, and I know honestly that they're gonna stay in there, that Chad's not gonna pull them out and leave them on the counter because the flavoring for water he's always put in there, so the syrups are right next to it. You can open it, pump the syrup, put the cup on the coffee maker. You guys, oh my gosh, I am so happy about this. It's the little things, the coffee cups and the tumblers we use the most often on the bottom, and then I have that really short sliver so I can lay those other smaller tumblers down flat. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. And then the excess can go up here. So I'm not gonna have all of them, but I'm gonna have plenty. The rest of our liners here. These appliance ones are always so tedious, so all three of these are similar. And there is a shelf up here, so I need to get some organizers I can put up there for all of these smaller items. That way they're not just all over the place. So when it comes to these heavier countertop appliances, I really don't think they should be organized by shortest to tallest so you can see everything. I think they should be organized by what you use the most often because they are heavy and awkward, and as helpful and practical as they can be, it is definitely work to bring them out and put them away. At least it is for me. That's like seriously my least favorite part is just pulling them out, and it's so heavy and bulky. So the big ones that I use the most often are going to go in front, and then the random smaller items like the hand mixer, hand blender, all of those items can go in the back. All right, girl, we are almost done. Just a few more to get through. I honestly forgot about this cabinet. I haven't opened it in so long. It's heavier cutting boards, ones we don't use very often, and also like those wire baking racks. There were some crumbs in there though, so I want to wipe it out, lay down a liner, and just know that when I walk past this, it's nice and clean and it's ready to go and there's no crumbs, because when it comes to crumbs and people like us that like to watch and film these videos, it is stress, okay? So we are eliminating the stress by eliminating those crumbs. And check out some of these after shots. I showed you guys the sunglasses, the silverware. Again, we're gonna do a full walkthrough, but oh my goodness, it was so worth it to get all of this done. I am thrilled. If you've been with me this long into the video and you need to do this, girl, it is worth it. You can get through it and watch my videos, listen to me ramble. I'd love to hang out with you while you do it. Look at this coffee station. Oh, I am so happy with it. Well, I certainly got myself into a lot more than I was expecting, but I am so glad it's done. So let me show you guys around. So what I'm most excited about is this little coffee area, and just the fact that I know if these items are right here, they're not going to be out on a counter all the time. I like the clean lines, I like stuff and decor, but this just was not matching the rest of everything in here. So the syrups and the cinnamon, stuff for Chad, our water flavors, and then I just did a couple of the disposable cups, the water tumblers I use all the time, a few of the regular coffee cups for Chad right here because sometimes he has hot coffee, and then the rest of the water bottles up top. Now, I didn't realize how many extra coffee cups I had. That's something that Chad, I told you guys, he just likes his coffee cups and accessories and whatnot, so a lot of that stuff is definitely things that he wants to keep that I would get rid of, but it's totally fine. Have a little hosting section up there, and then I'm gonna see if there's some tumblers back here that we can get rid of, but all in all, it's looking a lot better. And this one is a tech drawer. I just did this one on my own, a little refresh. So lots of different tech accessories, headphones, the phone chargers and whatnot. All of that goes in here. This one is a junk drawer. I did not get to that, but you know, just pens and random stuff that comes in the mail and whatnot. This one I'm so excited about. Let me turn it up so you guys can see it a lot better. Look at that. We have the white liner. We have the heavy appliances. I tried to put all of them in this one and the one behind me. I really didn't like having them everywhere. And then the accessories for them up top. So this seriously makes me so happy. Close that one up and then I'll show you guys this one. So tedious, but so worth it. So the rest of those heavy appliances and then the accessories that I was telling you guys about. And then let's just quickly go through these island drawers. You guys know the gist of what's going on here, but just the fact that all of them are looking so good and so clean, it makes me really happy. The best feeling ever. Like this one, I did have this one in the front as opposed to in the back. The home cups, the school cups, snack cups, the hot items, and then the lunch boxes. So that one is gonna work out a little bit better than it was before. And then the last one, you guys know, this is all of the Tupperware items. I separated them a little bit different than they were before. So I think it'll be easier to just grab what I need that much faster. And last but not least, for this area, the silverware, I told you guys, is staying in there. So much better, the cutting boards and mixing bowls and whatnot right here. I think we skipped this one, but this is all of the extra accessory items. So it'll be really nice to know if there's a smaller item I'm looking for, an accessory for an appliance or for cooking or whatnot. It's all right here, and then some iced coffee items up here. This one I just straightened up, so I didn't feel a need to do it step by step with you guys. I've shared the kitchen sink a lot. One thing I really love, super random, but I love to organize under a kitchen sink. And this setup's really cool. I love how this one, for the bags here, I pull it out from this so it just stays on the roll, and then I pull it as needed. Just a fun little way if you have this style that has the lip right here. I think that's just a fun thing to put there. The towels I use for cleaning, sponges are all back there, the pods for the dishwasher, and then, you know, all the other products I use on a regular basis downstairs, at least right there. And lastly, let's go through this side. We definitely did a bunch of work over here. So this has been a drop and go station when we come in the house for sunglasses and keys and just, you know, random stuff Forrest has in his pocket. So now we have somewhere to put this stuff. I just freshened up the sunglasses back here. And then anything that's in our pockets when we walk in, it's gonna go right here as opposed to on the counter and making a mess. This one is paper plates and napkins, at least smaller party ones, a lot of napkins and toothpicks, sort of like hosting supplies, I'll call that one. This one, I don't know why we have so many tongs, but we do. I just wanted to freshen up. I honestly forgot about this cabinet for the longest time, but it's like huge, heavy cutting boards and wire racks and whatnot. And then this one, I wanted to ask you guys, should I put a liner in here? Since I had some more of it that I ordered, I do have extra liners, so should I leave it like this or put a white liner down here? I'm kind of thinking sometimes this stuff is really heavy, like those appliances. Like I want it for those appliances I showed you guys, but also it can ripple a little bit, so that's why I wasn't sure. This one I didn't put it either. I just felt like it wasn't really necessary, but you guys know how much I love that rack. Totally recommend those if you have skillets like this. This one is the vast majority of the cooking utensils I use. Sometimes these get stuck, but I just really like to have them right here, right next to the stovetop. And then this one, I didn't put a liner either. Just felt like it was not a necessary item since I don't use these super duper often, and they do have that fabric one right there. So working our way around the last section with the spices, you guys know I took the vinegars out of here, put those in the pantry over here. That way it's not so filled up on the shelf. I can actually find the oils that I'm looking for. Spices I use the most often right here, those smaller appliances, and then the extra accessories for everything in this cabinet on the very top. The medicine was such a doozy, and you guys always tell me I shouldn't keep it right next to the stove. Promise you it doesn't get hot over here, and I really don't have anywhere else that I could put it, but this is so much better. The kid stuff is all in one. That's something I always recommend. If you are a mom, put all of the kid stuff in the same spot. That way it's not all mixed up with the adult stuff, and you know if you need something for your child, it's in one place. Extra supplements, vitamins, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Tums for us down here. So gosh, you guys, this seriously makes me so happy. This is the one I pulled the most stuff from too. Like probably half of the stuff that was in here I had to get rid of because it was expired. And then this one I didn't have to do too much. You guys know it was just those paper plates. I do want to donate those though. I don't really like those anymore. I feel like I need something a little more my style, but wasn't too much in here. So thank you guys for decluttering, reorganizing, and cleaning with me. This was definitely a tedious project, but something that needs to be done, and I'm just glad I got to do it with all of you guys. So if you enjoyed this, if you found it super motivating or helpful in any way, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would absolutely love to have you here. Please give it a like, write a comment down below. I have recent videos and so much stuff linked for you in that description box. And I'll see you right here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye!